Hello. So today we're going to talk about hypertension and how smoking, caffeine, alcohol, and stress may affect your blood pressure. And caffeine, we're going to start with that topic, can cause a short but dramatic increase and spike in your blood pressure. And this, everybody reacts a little bit differently. People may have be very sensitive to caffeine, whereas others may not. Researchers believe that caffeine could block a hormone that helps keep your arteries widened. And other researchers believe that caffeine causes your adrenal glands to release more adrenaline, which may cause a spike in your blood pressure. And so, some people who regularly drink caffeine may not get those blood pressure spikes, whereas others will. So, as a result, they're not sure if caffeine has a long term effect on high blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, we encourage you to check with your doctor about how many beverages or how much caffeine you should have per day. For instance, if you're concerned about the effect of caffeine on your blood pressure, you may want to limit caffeine to around 200 milligrams a day, which is about 2 8-ounce cups of regular caffeinated coffee. Now, there are other drinks with caffeine, so you're going to have to look at labels and things, so like energy drinks and green tea. But just keep in mind the amount of caffeine um, and the method of preparation may cause caffeine to be different in, you know, coffees. It may vary across the board. So, if you have high blood pressure, it may be important to avoid caffeine before you're going to do an activity that may increase your blood pressure. So, like weightlifting, exercise, heavy labor. So, you'd want to avoid that. And if you're going to start weaning down on caffeine, we would recommend that you wean down slowly to avoid tension headaches, because generally a side effect of cutting caffeine can cause headaches. So, another thing that you can do to see how much it's affecting your blood pressure is to drink a cup of coffee and check your blood pressure right before you drink that cup of coffee, and then or a caffeinated beverage, and then recheck your blood pressure about 30 minutes to 120 minutes afterwards. If your blood pressure increases by 5 to 10 points, then you can safely say most likely caffeine is affecting your blood pressure, and you may want to wean down, and again, wean down slowly to prevent those headaches. And now we're going to jump over to stress and blood pressure. Stress is an interesting thing. Science is showing more and more how stress can have such an impact on our lives in so many ways. And having an amount of stress or a stressful situation does temporarily increase or cause a blood pressure spike. And researchers are still unclear whether, if you have continued stress, if that will cause permanent high blood pressure if you continue to have those spikes. So the important thing is to really manage your stress. And one thing that you can do is exercising 30 minutes a day, 3 to 5 days a week. And that can help really manage your stress, as well as it is very heart healthy in general to be exercising. So that's super good for your heart and also managing your stress. So what research shows is that when we have a stressful situation, our body has a surge of hormones which temporarily increase our blood pressure and our heart rate. And then those blood vessels from head to toe, they'll narrow. So think about that. If you have narrowing blood vessels, then that's less blood flow going to all the different parts of your body. So we don't want to decrease our blood flow. We want optimal blood flow. So there's, again, no real evidence that long-term stress causes long-term high blood pressure. However, we do see that long-term stress or high-stress situations can lead to unhealthy habits, which can contribute to high blood pressure, heart attack, and stroke. And some of those habits are smoking, drinking too much alcohol, and turning to unhealthy foods. So we are going to talk about each of those, and we've been talking about food throughout this month in our different videos. So pretty much today we're going to stick to talking about the alcohol and smoking. So alcohol wise, drinking too much can raise your blood pressure and be very unhealthy. So, having more than 3 drinks in one sitting temporarily does raise your blood pressure, but repeated binge drinking can lead to long term increases in blood pressure. And if you're a heavy drinker, cutting back to moderate drinking can lower blood pressure. So, if you're monitoring your blood pressure and you are cutting back on alcohol, that number can go down, that top number, your systolic can go down 2 to 4 millimeters of mercury, and your diastolic can go down 1 to 2 millimeters of mercury. If someone is working on decreasing alcohol, you want to do it slowly over a couple of weeks, because heavy drinkers who suddenly stop drinking will develop severe high blood pressure for several days. And if you have high blood pressure, drinking alcohol in moderation is important. And what that's considered to be is, for men under 65 is no more than 2 drinks a day, and men older than 65, 1 drink a day, and women, no matter what age, 1 drink a day. And a drink is considered like 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of 80 proof distilled spirits. So keep in mind too the extra calories that come with alcohol, and also sometimes we have just not the best food choices when we're drinking alcohol too. So that's definitely something to pay attention to. And alcohol may interfere with the effectiveness of some medications, as well as increased side effects of some blood pressure medications. So definitely some things to consider. And then in discussing smoking, many people report, the reason they smoke is because it helps them with their stress. And just like, turning to chocolate or ice cream or alcohol, there's many things that we turn to. Some things are more addictive than others and more harmful to the body. And it's not unknown information that smoking is bad for you and it's bad for your lungs. But generally, people who smoke are more prone to get high blood pressure and heart disease. And the nicotine in the cigarette smoke is the big part of the problem. It raises your blood pressure and your heart rate, and then it narrows those arteries and vessels and hardens them so they're less flexible. And then it stresses your heart. You can have a heart attack or stroke, a blood clot. So there's just some things that that smoking can contribute to, for sure. So there's much help out there to quit smoking. We do have free health coaching here at Marathon, as well as offer medication if it's appropriate on a person by person basis to help people with quitting smoking, or even lozenges. And then there's also other quit smoking free programs online, like calling 1-800-QUIT-NOW. And there is even a smoking cessation wellness workshop in the portal, on your Marathon portal. So these articles are available to you here on this portal if you want to look into these things more. And just know we're here to help you. We are really, we focus on wellness, and even though we're not in the clinic, we're still here for virtual appointments. So if you have any questions, want to touch base about maybe considering changing some habits to help improve your heart health, your blood pressure, what have you, we would love to talk to you. Have a great day.